Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? We are just getting started here, guys. We got some 4 sections here still open for the opening of the week. How's everyone doing? Let me put the position on the board that I think we'll be starting with, just so everyone is clear. But yeah, in today's rapid tournament, we'll be exploring the modern Archangel variation of the Ruy Lopez. So bishop c5 here. I think this will be the starting position right here, with white to play after black's last move, bishop c5. So if you don't know what you're doing in this position, you're still welcome to join. It's going to be 4 rounds with rapid. Links in the chat. Hey, Caitlin. And yeah, if you need some help, like how to deal with this opening, I would recommend going to YouTube and checking out David's video where he goes over some games. So you have like 5 minutes before the tournament starting. That's like a 3.5-hour video. So you guys have some time. Just cram in David's YouTube video real quick. Not a ton of players so far. Hopefully more join. So I'm just gonna go through the sections. 1800 group, 3 players so far. I think you guys will need hopefully at least 1 more to get like a quad or something. We'll see. Under 1800 group, looking good. 7 players so far. Definitely lots of room here. And you know, it's just for fun, guys. So like, I understand most people aren't playing this opening. 1450 group looking good. 12 players here. The good section, that one definitely is going to happen. That's the thing. If these sections don't get enough players, sometimes they just get canceled. I'm not sure what's the minimum for 4 rounds. Hopefully they can still do the tournament with like 3 rounds or something. But yeah, under 1100 group guys can definitely use another player. So if you're interested in playing rapid with this position on the board with white to move, you're going to get 2 rounds from white's point of view and 2 rounds from black's point of view. So you'll get a survey from both colors. And well, great way to get more experience on an opening. Streamcord, Cartier, that's our new bot that just posts whenever we go live. So it's very useful, because then we don't have to like type the announcement every time. So the new bot is great. Will I stream the E4 repertoire today? We'll see. I'm not sure actually. Depends on if there will be time. How does the opening of the week get chosen? Honestly, I think David just shows up Monday and just asks the chat, and then whatever like a couple people suggest, he just goes with that. Fun fact, guys, I was one of the original owners of this. They sent me one when they made it. When they made the shirt, they wanted to like advertise it, so like we got to send it to some chess influencers. I was one of the people they picked. Yeah. But you know, that's one of my rules in life. Never say no to a free shirt. So yeah, guys, under 1100 group could definitely use at least a couple more players. Actually, let me post in Discord because you have 7 minutes to join. All right, we have Amon's alt account, KVNB. It's so because Amon's regular account is KNVB. And I'm pretty sure he had this profile picture for a while. So all right, we got KVNB in the tournament. Fantastic. Okay, now I think this one will start. You probably won't get the full 4 rounds. Might be only 3 rounds. But at least you guys will get some games in, so that's cool. Let's see. So 1800 plus group, 1 minute to join, guys. So if you're 1800 plus, chess.com rapid, you can join this one. You know what? I'll just join. I'll just play. There we go. I'll play. How about that? There. Does that encourage people to come in? 55 seconds, guys. 50 seconds left to join the 1800 plus group. Actually, if you missed the first round, you can definitely join for the later round. So if you can't play the first round, you can still join. I'm sure people will be asking that actually as they come in. Yeah, let people know if anyone's asking. You can definitely join late. These are going to be rated. Yes. JB, that's the whole point of my E4 speedrun. Alright guys, here we go. I got confused. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, this is, okay, our tournament is starting, alright? 1800 plus group, tournament is starting. So we have the starting position as expected. Hopefully this is not a surprise to anyone. No, Julio got a bot. I took your game, dude. I'm sorry. I was hoping to encourage more players to to join in. Okay, so white chooses d3. This is one of several logical moves in the position. There's like c3 here as well. There's d3. There's a4. Even knight takes e5 is the thing. I'm going to play maybe the most needed move for black here, d6, just strengthening this one. And actually, so this is not a new opening for me, I'll be honest with you guys. I used to play this system from black's point of view as my main repertoire. It's my main repertoire. So I'm pretty comfortable with this one. But I haven't seen it from white's point of view that much, so that'll be fun for me to see it from white's point of view. Yeah, so I've had this, I'm sure I've had this position, this structure, many times. One thing that I always liked was putting the bishop on b7, although I have to admit that strategically this one was always considered somewhat of a no-no, fighting against the d3, e4 pawn chain. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to just start with bishop b6, because this is a move that's pretty much useful no matter what. It kind of gets the bishop out of the way of like c3, d4 stuff. And then I'll decide next move if I want to go h6 or if I want to castle or what to do. Okay, so a4, we got to defend the rook here. I think I'm just going to play bishop b7. So this is kind of like one of the typical responses to a4. Rook b8 is certainly a move as well. In most cases, just getting the rook off of the a file. Okay, knight to c3. Maybe I'll take a sec there. I hope no one's like watching and just copying my my moves. Let's check out some of the other games here. I'm gonna walk around the tournament hall. Okay, we just have one other game. And let's see how these guys played. So this game went a4, bishop b7, d3, h6, so stopping bishop g5, knight c3, normal, and castles. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's get back to our game. Or knight c3. I'm actually going to play h6 as well, because I think this is a very useful move. Stopping bishop g5. Because this is one of the drawbacks, maybe the main drawback of this system from black's point of view, is the bishop is very active, but it's missing on e7 like in the normal Rui, where it would be neutralizing this pin. So from white's point of view, this bishop g5 pin can be quite annoying for black, especially if you have knight d5 as an idea. Now I just noticed that this pawn is hanging. Honestly, it's not a big deal, but I don't think I should have. I don't think I should have allowed it. That's okay. You see, this is what happens in open tournaments. You start like looking around at like other sections and other games, and you're like, oh, what's going on? Thankfully, you do always get like some compensation in these lines. So I'm gonna play knight a5 here, But we're going to be playing from behind a little bit right now. But that's okay. That's fine. Only 55 rating points on the line here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, so knight c3, I totally fumbled this one. I should have probably pushed b4. Should have pushed b4 to deal with this threat. But that's my b. Okay, but now we're gonna try to get some compensation based on attacking this bishop. Okay, other tournaments have already started. Oh, okay, under 1100 group, your tournament will be starting in 1 minute. Oh man, I can't. Okay, I can only observe the 1800 group. So I might. That's kind of unfortunate. Well, afterwards we can look at the games. Hey, thanks, James. Shout out to GM Canty. What's up, man? Yeah, Dojo Talks. Okay, bishop a2. So, yeah, probably I don't think we have like a better move than just castling here, so I'm just going to do that. And yeah, we're down a pawn, but we'll try to get some compensation here. We do have this kind of something hanging on the a file, so maybe we can use that. But if I go knight c6, I think I can just defend the bishop probably. So we're going to have to come up with a way to get some compensation here. Okay, I think I'm just going to go rook e8. Just simple move defending this one and preparing the break d5. So that would be nice. If white takes on a5, we'll definitely be very happy to pick up the dark square bishop, so not really worried about that. I think it'd be great to have James Canty on the gauntlet. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's our game show where streamers come in and they take on handicaps and they try to score as many points as possible while taking on handicaps. It's a lot of fun. And we're gonna be starting. Well, we're gonna be starting the regular season in like, I think we have like 1 or 2 weeks left in our like preseason, and then we're gonna be starting the regular season, which apparently I just heard is gonna be like 20 weeks. So we have lots of spaces. We have more than enough room. So that would be pretty sweet. That'd be a lot of fun. Awesome, man. Awesome. Wow. Thank you, chat. Chat with the collab. I love it. Thank you. All right, you guys did your job. Nice job. Okay, so white just played knight h4, probably trying to get to f5. And honestly, this is looking dangerous. I think we have to be super active here with something like d5. But d5 feels like it allows some trades. Okay, I'm gonna play knight c6 first. Just gonna hit the bishop, see how white wants to deal with this one. Is Dojo doing anything for the candidates? Yeah. I'll be doing commentary for the first 2 hours. Hopefully with Jesse. Okay, bishop b3. So we could go here again and attack that bishop. And see where white wants to go. Yeah, let's check. Let's just check. Okay, that's one. It's one repetition. Not sure I really want to repeat here that, like, I mean, I should, objectively. I feel like we don't have much for the pawn, but it's not really, like, fun. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be repeating. I mean, we might repeat one more time, but I don't think we're going to repeat 2 more times. Okay, let's go back here again. Again, we'll see what white does, but if white plays bishop b3, then I think we're just going to keep playing. Yeah, shout out to JB. Yeah. Fantastic mod / collaborator. Okay, bishop c4. Interesting. So that's fine. So now I'm just going to drop back here. So we're just going to continue the game, and my idea is kind of simple. I'm just trying to stop knight f5. So I'm not making it easy for white to achieve their idea. And then I might also be looking for d5 here. And some pressure. So there could be a move like queen f3, for example. I think that would be reasonable because this one often hits the knight on f6 and threatens to take on h6. And so we would have to deal with that one. Might have to just play d5 there. Takes, knight takes, defending our knight on f6 and maybe setting up some discoveries against the queen. Okay, let's see how the other game's doing. So in this game, I think it looks like black also blundered this b5 pawn, which is kind of funny. So white again. So this is why I gotta go b4. Okay, so takes, and white trades dark squared bishops with bishop e3. The black looking for some annoyance here, some pressure. Okay, bishop e3. So white plays this one here too. Yeah, so this one's annoying because this bishop is defending our key c7 square. See what happens if we take. Knight takes. A7 takes. Doesn't look good. I think we're just gonna be down an exchange there. Bishop a5, there's b4. Yeah, gotta be really careful here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to defend this e pawn. So maybe just queen d8 looks like a kind of unfortunate move. I don't like that I have to play this one, but yeah, otherwise these two pawns definitely under heavy fire. Yeah, still some room to join the tournament, guys. Let's see, we have... Oh yeah, we have plenty of players now. So we should get the full... Oh, it looks like we're only going to have 3 rounds. Okay. So I might drop out, actually, after this one, then, if there's an odd number. I guess I'll just keep an eye on it. Oh, I can withdraw right now. Hopefully that doesn't resign me. Alright, takes. F4. Okay, so F4 definitely invites us to play D5 here. Try to counter break, and there's takes. Takes. That looks pretty dangerous. Could take once on F4. Rook takes, then go D5. I think I'm gonna go with that actually. That looks like that gives us a chance to kind of open things up a little bit more. And I feel like that's what we need if we have any chances here. Because like our only, I don't know, like one potential source of compensation is that white's pieces are a little bit scattered. Like, yeah, it's not on B5, not on H4. King on G1, there's like, you know, this whole diagonal open with checks. There's like this E3 square kind of possible, like, so there's like, I don't know, a lot of tactical potential. So it just feels like we have to just open things up and take our chances right now. Objectively, I would imagine white is probably doing really well here, but it doesn't seem easy. So we kind of just have to take our chances and hope for the best. Yeah. Now, if this bishop wasn't hanging, this move I think would be quite annoying for us. Just sacking the exchange and completely opening up our king, but rook f6, I can just take on c4 if I want to bail out, or I can accept the exchange and see if I can defend that position. Honestly, I don't see that it's quite that strong here for white. I would like to go g5. The problem is white just takes our knight first, and then we're only trading knights, and then our king is just left extremely open, so probably no good. Maybe even stuff hanging like bishop f7 at the end there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, let me try withdrawing here. Hopefully it doesn't, I'm gonna wait. Let me wait. But I'm gonna probably withdraw after this game so we can, because now there's enough games the tournament can run. I'm worried that it's gonna just resign me. People can just confirm that I'm not gonna resign. Oh, it will resign you. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, okay, so then I'll wait. But what happens if I finish the game and then it like immediately pairs the next round? That's not fair. I need a second to resign. Okay, e5. E5 certainly possible. Let's see our options here. We can move the knight away, then white will move the bishop away, and not seeing exactly what we're doing there. Or we can take, and we go knight d5. Some queen g4. But queen g4 we take on f6. Knight f5. Oof, it's still, that's pretty scary anyway. But might have to go first. So take. Knight d5, queen g4. Yeah, take knight f5. Oh wait, take hits the queen, so there's no knight f5 in that position. So then we're fine, So we're taking knight d5, and then we're playing either to take on f6 or hitting the rook, or playing for knight e3. So that feels like white's position is kind of loosening quite a bit. Because I just feel like white has more stuff hanging than we do. We're still down the pawn. We're still down the pawn, but just a lot of stuff hanging in white's position. If this one was hanging, actually, I would really want to play queen d5, but unfortunately g2 is defended, so queen d5 only attacks one thing, and then that one thing can actually attack two things with knight c7. So queen d5, knight c7 would be... Oh no, there's queen c5 check, so then we attack two more important things. Hold up, guys. New developments happening all the time in this variation. So we could try queen d5 after this, but... Okay, knight d6. Doesn't want to take the knight, but we grabbed a piece, so temporarily we're up a piece, and we can move this one to hit the rook. But knight takes b7 is going to hit our queen. But then that rook is still hanging, so usually you can just attack the knight and you can assume two pieces will be hanging there, like something like queen c7 or queen b8 to keep the rook on e8 defended. And I think white is just like losing material there, unless white can like find some checkmating idea. I think we're gonna get the swindle here. So knight d5, knight takes b7, queen b8. And then temporarily it's equal material there, but rook is hanging, knight on b7 is hanging. If knight comes back to d6, we take white's rook for free. White takes on e8, queen takes e8, right? And we're up a piece, so that's fine. Not worried about that variation. So knight d5 takes on b7, queen b8, and then rook is going to try to move somewhere to attack something, but I don't really see what it can attack. Okay, so let's play it. So I'm not exactly feeling good. I mean, white, even if white goes down a piece here, white's still going to have some compensation, but definitely feeling much better than before. No. Yeah, so the line we're calculating is this one, queen b8, and then if knight back to d6, then we're just taking here. Okay, rook f7. Yeah, tricky move. So keeping this one, attacking the bishop. Wanting queen g4. So this makes sense. And then if knight takes b7, we'll go king takes f7. Yeah, really tough position, unfortunately. Bishop c8 also possible, maybe? With the idea to come here. And it covers a lot of these squares, which is actually kind of nice. Can also play some move like knight e3, but that just seems kind of like, I don't know, the knight is like floating. Just floating on e3, so I'm not sure what it's doing there. Might go like queen e2. Second knight comes to d5. No, knight e3, queen h5. Just feels very dangerous. Yeah, I don't really want that. Yeah, kind of like this plan. Like bishop c8, queen h5, bishop e6. cover some really important squares. Oh man, it's scary. It's scary, but I don't think we're allowed to complain, guys. You know, we like hung a pawn earlier. Okay, takes on c4. Let's see, can we throw this in? Takes. Can also play knight e3. Alright, let's go. Not a lot of time to waste, so we kind of have to play the move and hope for the best. Once you see like you kind of only have one move, I think you just have to play it, unfortunately, even if you don't like your position. But if you're pretty sure it's like the only move, then what to do? Maybe instead of resigning the game, I'll withdraw it. Takes. So if knight takes, queen h5. Unfortunately, takes. Yeah, that's bad. All right, let's take here. Takes. Now we can take the knight. We can also take this guy and snag a pawn before grabbing a knight. Hold up, guys. This could be life-changing. Then there's knight d6, unfortunately. Takes. There's no check. There's knight e3, but it's super messy. I have no idea what's happening. That could be okay, though. White's knight is still hanging. All right, or we can just take right now and then suffer against these pawns. Like bishop takes, d6. I mean, that's very playable too, but really love to take on d5 here if I could. So takes, knight d6, takes, knight takes f7, knight e3. Okay, let's try it. Oh, it doesn't work. I just realized why. Because there's a check at the end. It's unfortunate. I'll have to take this one. I guess I'll have to just try to stay active. Yeah, I wanted knight e3 here, but then I missed queen d8 check. Forces queen trade. And we take. And then white's just up a pawn, and who knows? Not even sure if we're holding that. Knight c6. So just going to try to stay a little bit more active and play for some mating ideas. Also, knight is still hanging. Hey, Ashen1, thanks for the bit. Right, pawn is also hanging as well. So if knight d6, we take on e5, and then the harassment continues because the knight doesn't have a safe square. But we can also maybe consider some checks and stuff too. Yeah, not easy. White can also defend the knight, but then it's like very shaky. So we get this kind of thing. Yeah, so knight d6. Check. I don't think leads to anywhere. I think we have to take this one. Knight c4. Let's keep attacking. Now we have this kind of idea. But we're definitely not better there, so I'm not sure we want that. Okay, b3. Well, now I think I want to come in. Queen d8 check, we come here. So this could get a little tricky for white. I think white should probably still be okay. Right, queen d2. Well, let's give this check. Just got to stay active here. That's kind of our main idea. And then maybe we'll put the knight on d4. King f2. Alright, let's play here. I'm just turning this one. No checks, unfortunately, to win that knight. Maybe we'll try this check. If here we have this one, then we take King e3. Wow, that's brave. Okay, I think I have to take here. I was looking for something better, but I couldn't see it. Really feels like we might be close here. Yeah, running out of time, unfortunately. Okay, let's try this check. So if here we can take, if here we have this one, let's try this check. We just have a lot of checks. I don't know if we have like a win, but we have a lot of checks. Okay, now white has no check, so we're just gonna take. Fascinating endgame. Fascinating endgame. But it's not easy for white. It's a little bit easier for us because our king has cover, right? It feels like white's king has to deal with some checks. And now we're just going to be like super annoying with the checks. Oh wait, do we just... Don't like what we did here. Covering this one. Oh, that one was hanging. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, let's go after the king side then. Hopefully we have enough checks to take some pawns. Alright, let's just take that one. So the thing is, white's king is far away here, so it's like definitely hard to win. We'll do our best. I mean, hard to win for white, of course. We don't really have chances anymore. Just gotta try to stay active. This game's gonna hold up the whole tournament. Okay. Let's go here. Alright, we got the pawn. So we're feeling pretty safe. Let's just try to stay active. Try not to blunder checkmate. We might blunder mate, kind of feeling like in that kind of mood, you know? Just gonna keep giving some checks. Oh, we have movement. I have no idea what's gonna happen in this game. Time to push. I don't see anything white can do, so I think it's time to just push. Oh boy. And that resets the 50 move roll. Yep. Yeah. So we're just gonna keep it keep it going. Okay, gotta try to stay active though. Yeah, unfortunately, white's king is very active now. Gotta try to keep that king cut. Scary, guys, scary. It's so easy to blunder something against the queen and knight. Oh man, this is very scary now. Okay, yeah. I think that's gonna do it. Gas, thanks for following. Yeah, no, definitely can still go very, very wrong here. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't like this. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no. Oh, we blew it, guys. We blew it. Okay, let me withdraw. Unbelievable. All right, GG. Everyone else can play. Enjoy the tournament. Man. Brutal. Brutal. Yeah. But I had to leave. I didn't want to leave, but I was worried. Okay, now we have 2 games in this section. Let's see how everyone else is doing. Oh, the Knights are so tricky. I mean, of course we could have made a draw, you know, and whatever, but Knight was so tricky. I actually don't even know at what point it became lost. Like here, actually, I don't even see it. Brutal. Oh, maybe I had to come up probably. But then could be like same thing with King G5. GG. GG though. No. Okay, let's see. So under 1100 group, we got the 4 players here. Nice. 1450. Okay, tons of games here. All right, let's open up some games. Whoa, D4. That one we haven't seen yet. And Julio against Prepeshka. How many moves is that actually? Oh, 92. Not that long. Hoping for longer. Yeah, it's a trick name, exactly. So a4 rook b8 c3. Yeah, this is very typical for this position to try to go for d4. And the other game, d4, black took this one. Yeah. Yeah. Probably could consider taking this way as well. I don't really see the huge danger here if e5 knight just goes somewhere. This is the idea. Could also take with the bishop. This might be the most solid one because this doesn't let white take on e5. Here I think black is just, yeah, just a pawn up. But knight takes e5, now castles. Okay, now this game is going to be super messy. Okay, c3 black thinking. All right, let's stay on this one. Yeah, exactly, German, exactly. Wow, sharp game. Knight d3, bishop g4. Queen e1. Well, this, I mean, this feels like, I don't know. I mean, this one is hanging, so you got to be careful. But black's position looks really, really active. Yeah, I think I would just consider rook e8 here, and then if takes, got this one, and also this one. Feels very, very annoying for white here. So rook e8, bishop g5 on the board. h6, bishop h4. So this is the problem for black, is that this pin is pretty annoying. So I like bishop g5. I think it's a very active move. And now you always have knight d5 ideas. And it's hard for black. They gotta go g5 if they want to break this pin. We're just always gonna be at 0, JB. It's always gonna be 0. Who are we kidding? So g5, black indeed doesn't want to deal with the pin. Bishop g3, king g7. Now white goes h3. Oops. That's an oopsie. That is a big oopsie. Yeah, maybe king h1 I guess should have been preferred or something. So you could try to go either f3, bishop f2 and defend against this diagonal. Support the e-pawn, or even f4. I think king h1 was the way to go. Just getting off of this diagonal and then... oh wow, white took that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did white take here? I don't understand. You know, you take on c5, you go e5. I mean, game continues here, right? You don't... Taking is just like resigning. It's kind of... surprising. It's weird, right? Two pieces for green, but then they resigned after knight f3 check. That's kind of odd. Yeah, because this isn't the end of the game. Like you can play king. Like I would certainly continue. I go king h1. I would do the same thing and push f4. But didn't see the fork is not it's not an excuse at this level, because I mean this is like 1900. So if black takes on h3, you don't just take the bishop and be like, oh, thanks for the free piece, without thinking about what the opponent wants to do. Can you still join the tourney? I'm not sure. Try the link and see if you can join. That's the only way to... keep in mind it's a themed tournament. So we're starting from the opening position, bishop c5 Rui. You have been warned. Oh, you didn't see the fork at all? That's you, Giant Solemn. But what did you think your opponent's idea was? Because like, if you don't see the fork, then they're just giving you a piece, right? They don't even have like the queen ready to take their pawn yet. So you have to think a little bit more about the opponent's perspective. You know, why would they take here without some idea in mind? So taking back we took back pretty quickly. You know, we have 12 minutes on our clock. We have to try to figure out what the opponent wants to do before just like recapturing, you know. Especially at this level, you know, your opponent's 1960, they beat an IM last round, like they're probably a pretty good player. They're not just going to give you a piece for no reason. They probably have some idea in mind. You know. So we have to try to be practical. You know. But let's jump to the other game. Oh man, this one's getting sharp too. So d4, bishop b6, a5, thematic idea. Black takes here. I'm not sure you're supposed to take. White sacks the exchange, takes on e5, knight takes e4. Now we have this position. Wow. So white has sacked the exchange, but has some ideas in mind, right? Oh, you guys are talking about candidates. I didn't understand what people were talking about. You guys are talking about candidates. So yeah, so I'm gonna be probably streaming the first 2 hours of the tournament, just following the games. And then 2 hours in, St. Louis is gonna be starting their coverage. They're doing like their Today in Chess show, where they just like probably just cover the games and you know, do like, I think it's gonna be like a 2-hour thing. And then while they're doing that, I'm gonna be doing their like social media and then I'll be writing their like daily reports. But yeah, I'll be streaming I guess 4 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, kind of early. Hopefully with Jesse, because for him it's not early. It's like 7 a.m. He streams at that time normally, so hopefully he's actually I'm gonna ask him to host it because he's gonna be the one. He might even stay on longer than me. Yeah, 4 a.m. Right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be covering the games, so I want to watch them, you know, live, so I know what happens. And because it's much easier, I think, to write about a tournament if you're watching it live. Because you just kind of see the games progress, and you kind of see the story. You see the story of the game play out. Versus if I just wake up 2 hours in and then I have to like look at the game, like it's gonna be hard to track it, so I'd rather just follow it from the beginning of the round. I mean, it's early, but it's the candidates. You know, for Magnus's first World Championship match in 2013 against Vichy, I was so excited. There was so much hype for that match. I stayed up like every day, and those games literally would start at like 5 a.m. My time. I was in St. Louis at the time, and I would stay up for them because I wasn't gonna wake up early. Oh my god, and college student, no way, I wasn't gonna wake up early. But I would stay up and watch the games. They're so exciting. I want to see what happens. Yeah, there's a rest day like every couple of days. What time do I think the game will end? I don't know, probably. I think I remember the games last year lasting anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours. But it kind of depends, because like if everyone finishes early, then everyone finishes early, and the game's only lasts 2 hours, so you can have a short round, especially towards like the later rounds. Um, some players don't have a ton to play for, right? You might see them just making quick draws because nothing on the line, and we're still in a pandemic, so super, super reasonable. I can't imagine anyone that like is not in contention even wants to go and play this tournament. Like I wouldn't want to go like a year delay and you're like way back, you have no chance of winning. Like brutal. But for the players that are in contention, of course, it's going to be very stressful, and they might be playing there. So you might see Caruana or Nepo or MVL or one of these guys. Like if they have a good position, they're going to be pushing for quite some time. So I would expect 1 or 2 games each round to probably go pretty long, because there's probably going to be at least one player who's like in contention with a good position, wanting to like convert their position and hoping to stretch out the game. I think every round is going to have some good games. Yeah, I mean, every round, Caruana's playing someone, he's behind. Nepo's playing someone, MVL's playing someone, Ding Loren is playing someone. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. So, yeah, hopefully Jesse comes on with me and we'll do some commentary for the first 2 hours, get some snacks. Got to brainstorm the snack situation. It's going to be early. I don't like eating early, but I don't like streaming without snacks either, so what are you going to do? Can't have everything. Definitely going to have some iced coffee. Iced coffee, maybe like some... Should I get donuts? Donuts would be really enjoyable. Love to have a donut while I observe the candidates. Okay, Julia really spending their time in this position. I mean, we're just sitting and waiting. But let's check out maybe group 2. Got Cartier Tank here. Oh boy, that pawn is looking dangerous. Code Banana and Steve Nash. Yeah, when is Rajabov's match, though? Yeah, exactly. Justice for Rajabov. No, he's not in, Jaspers. He's not in because he withdrew. Because he asked FIDE, like, hey guys, what's the plan if the pandemic gets kind of serious, a year ago? And they were like, look, Roger, do you want to play or no? That was their response. He was like, hey guys, like, what's the deal here? What happens if I get sick or if someone gets sick? Like, are we gonna postpone the tournament, or what's gonna happen? I don't want to like bring COVID back to my, city. And then they're like, Timur, do you want to play or not? Okay, you have 1 week. You have 1 day. And that's how we got MVL in the candidates. But I think there were talks of inviting him to the next candidates, which would be a nice consolation, so he doesn't have to re-qualify. I think that would be kind of like a minimum good thing. Yeah, interesting Freudian slip from JB. I imagine the next candidates is going to be in 2023. I don't think they have time to do... I don't think they have time to qualify people for 2022. Like, there's no World Cup or FIDE Grand Prix or anything so far. Maybe there will be, because there is supposed to be like an Isle of Man tournament later this year, but I don't know if that's going to be like a FIDE Grand Prix again or anything like that. So next cycle could be 2023, or next candidates. Okay, Steve Nash, way down on time. time trouble, no good. Let's see what happened here. So a4, d3, bishop e3. I actually like this plan. I think this is quite a dangerous structure for black. But d5 is probably right to just challenge white in the center. Takes knight a5, very interesting. Takes, and now white, oh, did not want to take here because of knight takes e3, but you know what, that might have been like, might have been some tactics here worth exploring. Like queen h5, for example, and then taking here. I'm not really sure, hard to say. Knight f7 actually, maybe. Knight f7 might be good. Because if knight takes d1, we have call an ambulance, but not for me. And we're winning. And if rook takes, then we're taking with check. And then queen can move and should be okay for white. I don't know. I mean, hard to say. Definitely hard to say. But queen d2, c5, e4. Now white takes, but now queen d4 check. Yeah, that's no good. That's just a blunder. The sad thing is white could have taken on e5 here, and I don't see anything crazy that black can do. So like that's the thing. It's like a lot of like he didn't take on e5 because he was worried about something. I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe like queen g5 and like black gets the pawn back, but instead goes e4 and then takes at actually like worst possible moment. So he could have taken like here, I think, and that would have worked tactically. He could have taken here, but then before we take, and then there's check. Yeah, so very unfortunate. Okay, so let's jump to this game. Cartier Tank against JN Zach. So a4, we see knight takes c5. Yeah, this is another possibility for white. Take, bishop d5, knight c5, b4, take, but why queen takes? Wait, what am I missing here, guys? Bishop takes d5, what if we just take here? Isn't this two bishops hanging? The schedule for the gauntlet is every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So it takes place Saturdays 1 p.m. Pacific, but maybe we can adjust it. Like if Benjamin wanted to play it like and wanted to do a little earlier, that would be totally fun. I think it's just a piece. I mean, bishop g2, we just take it, right? Like it's just extra piece for white. Sure, some pawns, but this usually not really going to be enough here. White just uses the extra piece and plays for the attack, huh? Kind of a weird one. Because we played b4, and then I mean, b4 was a very good move because it's hitting the knight and the bishop, right? If knight moves away, we're winning that piece. But I thought the idea was bishop takes d5 to take here. So, kind of a strange miss because queen takes. Now black doesn't lose the piece. Loses some pawns though. So white probably still doing well, but yeah, well, okay. Strong attack, f6. Now white wants to go for this one, but black is going to take. So white has to reassess, get the knight out. Knight c4, very good. Nice trick there. Rook takes a6, knight c4. Oops. Every score except a3. Rook takes a6, knight c4, hitting the queen and opening up white's rook. Okay, now this is live position. Well, this is a sharp game. Looks like... Wait, what happened? Oh no, did they flag Julio? Because he spent too much time? I think that might have happened here. Man, they do this sometimes. It's really brutal. He might have disconnected. That's possible too. But sometimes they flag you if you like take too much time on a move. I don't know. Yeah, the Arkhangelsk definitely for the more tactical players. Oh, we're missing the music, huh? Okay, Rook takes. Oh man, look at this trick, guys. Black found. Wow, Rook e1, Rook takes a6. You look away for 1 second. Tricky, tricky. Sacrificer, did we see your game? Yes, we did. Yeah, we saw this one. No, wait, did we? Yeah, we did. You had this nice queen d4 check. Yeah. David said, and I quote, this is exactly what David said. You can check the VOD from last night because I was watching. He said, the only streamers that play music are the ones that don't have anything interesting to say. That's what David said. He said streamers only play music if they don't have anything interesting to say. Yeah, harsh. But to be fair, he was responding to someone in chat who like called his stream super depressing, which I think was kind of rude. So he was kind of responding to that in the chat. There was someone who was like, it's like, oh, your stream is super depressing. I love it. Super depressing. I love it. Really, it doesn't sound like you love it. So they were being kind of salty with him. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I'm sorry my stream isn't exactly like the other streams. That guy's username was really funny too. Just in context, the username was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I wanted to suggest to David, like, David, just turn someone else's stream. So we'll just stream someone else's stream, and then that person will be happy. Do I listen to these playlists off stream? No, not really, because I mean, I just listen to them on stream so much that I get sick of them. But yeah, off stream. I do listen to Twitch and Chill. I was listening to Twitch and Chill for a while because this one is unfortunately is kind of short. It's only like a couple hours long. The other playlist is like it's like 2 days long. It's like 48 hours. So I can listen to that one and then not get tired of it, because. But it's not the same, you know. Twitch and chill, it's like very, it's very sedating. Sometimes you want like some energy. Yeah, Terry, that's what it was. Yeah. So that was the context in which David David said that. Oh, but is that one copyright free, Max? Do you know? Because the problem with music is that it has to be copyright free. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to do the copyright on Twitch. Like, honestly, you can, some streamers will play all kinds of copyrighted music because they, I think they have, like, sub-only mode. And that means that you can't make clips of their channel. So the problem with the copyright is that it's not while you're streaming. I don't think anyone gets, like, caught when they're streaming. It's just that if you have clips with copyrighted music, then that gets flagged later. So I think what streamers do when they play like real music is they just disable clips, or they put it into sub-only mode, and then there's no clips. Right, so it's only the VODs and the clips. And then the music doesn't get saved to the VOD. Or if it is, I think it just... Yeah, I think the music doesn't get saved to the VOD, if I'm not mistaken. Because you can enable that. But sometimes it gets muted. So it depends on how they set it up. I think if you set it up correctly, you can do it so that the music just is not a thing, is not part of the VOD at all. So it like nothing has to be muted. But if you mess it up, then they just mute the song, and so that kind of messes up the VOD, of course, when there's just like no sound. But yeah, so now there's this thing like Twitch soundtrack, but that has issues too because the music isn't copyright free. So the idea of like Twitch soundtrack is so that the music is muted in the VOD. It's like set up to do that, but you are still limited by the music that you can choose from. So it's not like we can just play any music. That would be... Though maybe we'll figure something out. And we're also, I don't think we're going to do sub-only mode either, so... That. Hey, JMPY with the sub. Right on time. Okay. Cartier tank here. Looking to convert. Looks like finally on track. What happened on this one? So after Rook takes A6, trick of the season. Takes, King F2. Black had to go to the back rank to defend. And now we see the problem of why this pawn is so strong in the endgame. It's not just because... It's not just because of this and mate, but because the back rank is weak, and so the rook is always going to be super passive here. I mean, could have played this one to keep defending, but it's a tough position. No, I think Chessbraw uses copyright-free music. I think because they play stuff that's like similar to this, but I think they try to use. As far as I know, I think they try to use copyright-free stuff. Okay, so white here looking to convert. Very, very active king. Nigel Shortwalk. We gotta make moves here. Oh, I see. Gotcha. So they have it configured so that Twitch has certain music, and then for YouTube, because YouTube is very strict. YouTube, they just have like AlphaZero checking all the music, all the videos for copyrighted stuff automatically. Yeah. So yeah, on YouTube, it's not even like you have to be reported. YouTube just scans you with their AlphaZero AI background. Yeah, and the music is like, I think it's the biggest struggle for streamers. Because also it's like, it feels like the rules change sometime. Like, I feel like in the past it was totally okay to play music and no one really cared, and all of a sudden people care, and then there are all these channels that now have to like delete their VODs and all their clips and stuff because all of a sudden it's a problem. And that's really unfortunate. Because you're not even making money off of Twitch clips. There's no ads on clips. Oh, they repeated. Oh, surprising. What happened? Oh, repeated just to defend, keep this one defended. I think Rook D7 maybe was the move. Rook B7 also possible. That I think he just didn't want to give this one. But Rook D7 like forces the knight trade, and then that's just GG. So that was the way to do it. So we got to get the rights to some music then. Yeah, can anyone get in contact with like Ariana Grande or something? Is Ariana Grande stream? Can someone jump into her chat and just see if her music is available? Wait, let's find some other games first. Hey, Austin with us, welcome. Oh, Cardinal's on it. Okay, good. JB's on it. Great, thank you. Just let me know how that goes. All right, 1800 group. Games have started. Let's see what happened in this one. So A4. Again, this b5 pawn. Everyone blunders this b5 pawn. So funny. This is like, this pawn was blundered. Guys, knight c3. I mean, I blundered it too. Knight c3 attacks the pawn. We gotta do something about this one. Oh, hey, Aman. In that, hey, Amar, in that previous position, the rook on d7 was also hitting this knight on d5. So that's why the rook wasn't able to move over. Okay, so it looks like black got the pawn back here. Should be doing all right. Let's jump to Julio and chess A00. Okay, finally, b4. Man, novelty. b4. You see this, guys? b4. Let me play a couple more times. b4. h6, a5, d6, c3. So a5 is a common response to b4 because it separates black's pawns, and it opens up this bishop a4 square and bishop c4. Looks like white is developing. I feel like white is slightly better. Yeah, this pawn on c5 is awkward. Bishop on a7 is like stuck behind the pawn. But it's a very small advantage. So black's certainly in range to do okay here. Yeah, the music is classified as chill PIs. I don't know what PI stands for in this context. Chill PIs. Yeah, basically like laid back electronic. Yeah, private investigate. I don't understand. Chill private investigators. Yeah, that's probably what it is, guys. H3. Yeah, I definitely think white is a little bit better here, but we'll see. Okay, let's see second group. Oh, a lot of games here. Okay, Vampire and Sacrificer, 2 out of 2. Let's see what happened in this one. C3 takes on E4, sharp stuff. D4 takes castles, bishop D5, going after this knight. Probably has to go back. But Sacrificer playing well. Let's see, we got 1450 group. And oh, it was under 1100 group finished. They might be done already. So I don't see them. But 1450 group very much alive. We got Marco and Jeff on 2 out of 2. We got Seth, Charlie Silva, Steve, and a lot of familiar faces. And I got Jedi Knightsio against Vasya Smiley Boy. Alright, let's see what these folks have. Okay, let's check out board 1. Marco versus Jeff. Marco played C3, D4, takes, knight takes E4, queen D5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's going to be an uh-oh for me. Yeah. So everything hanging. So this was probably not the right move from black. So after C3, D6, D4, bishop A7. I think probably bishop B6 and takes. I think what black actually has to do here is go knight takes. Now, does anyone understand why knight takes here might be the right move? I feel like I have to get chat back on track. Does anyone anyone have any idea why knight e5 here is probably good? He takes a3 is always with check. No, not quite. So look, the difference is like black chooses whether to take with the knight or with the pawn here. And if we take with the pawn, we're just left with this knight on c6. That's very restricted. So black wants to trade off this knight on c6 because it's not a good piece. So it's really just about trading off one pair of knights. Hey, Juicy Juice, what's up? What's up, man? And then after takes, white can go for this endgame and even snag this pawn. But the point is that we're always going to be winning it back. So black can play like either rook f8 here. Yeah, gotta go rook f8 if takes, and there's bishop d5 immediately. So here. Or you can go bishop b7. I think also good. And white's not losing this pawn. But you can go here as well, for example, and then bishop b3, knight e4, and if anything, black is actually more active in this position. Yeah, there's no f3. Bishop d5, then we're just taking, and like bishop b7, and like white's not going to hold on to this pawn. This one is just, black is going to win the pawn back and then have two active bishops. So that's kind of the idea here for black. So a lot of times you have to be willing to temporarily lose a pawn, but knowing that you're going to have active counterplay against e4. So in this game, black panicked a little bit and took on e4, but now after queen d5 is just GG. So this is a very, very key trick to know. Queen d5 is like, I did some research on this kind of tactic, and like in the database, and I've probably seen this trick like, there's probably like hundreds of games that have ended because of this trick. At least hundreds. Like hundreds from this line and like hundreds from other lines. Like thousands of pieces have been hung this way to this unfortunate queen d5. So guys, please try to remember. Try to remember, this is hanging. This is all hanging. So you got to be very, very careful here. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice, Shermano. Nice, nice. Okay, so I believe Marco probably going to be taking this one. Oh man, and he got the second piece too. Okay, could have taken this at least, but this one. Okay, let's jump to Seth. See how Seth's doing. So what did Seth do here? Seth went for a4, c3, d4, d6, rook e1, h6, bishop e3. Normal moves. Okay, now this knight is hitting two things. Honestly, it kind of looks bad, but I would have just gone bishop c1 here. Just save the bishop and defend the pawn. And you lose a little bit of time, but I think it's better than losing the pawn or losing the bishop. Here black could have taken on e3 as well. That would have been brutal. And then this dark square bishop would have been really strong. And this bishop can come back. It's okay, here, here, here. So black takes the pawn. c4. Kind of a head scratcher. Okay, knight a2. I think black just needs to find like one or two good moves here. Yeah, c5, and this is looking very, very difficult for white. Like he can try to blockade, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think black is enough to break through here. Okay, let's keep going around the horn. Got Charlie Silva in trouble, it seems. Let's see what happened. All right, d6, h3. He took that one. Okay, here there's no queen d5, right? So white's still okay. So d4 takes, back. Yeah, now bishop d5 again would have just been game over, guys. So this is the trick that shows up a lot in these kinds of positions. Just gonna pause here again. It's like the second game that this has been missed. Actually, this was missed by both players. So 3 players missed this one. This idea, basically. Jeff and then both of these guys, too. So I'm just gonna pause it here. The double attack, very annoying. Very annoying. You can win a lot of pieces like this. here, and now black should be okay, although it's probably still very risky. But Charlie is spending his time. That's good. He's been saying he's spending his time. He's spending it. He is spending it. Wow, look at this. Rook takes h7. Man. Typical Greek gift sacrifice. It's brutal too. It looks super strong. Knight g5 coming, queen h5. I think that's just untakeable. So knight takes d4, probably a better try. Takes. Wait. Takes. Could have taken the rook here, but then there's still queen h5 check. King g8, queen takes f7. King goes back, and then queen h5 mate. So that bishop on b3 doing a lot of work. So takes, queen h5. Takes on f2. A little desperado. King takes. Queen f6 check. I think bishop takes... You know, I don't like bishop takes d4. I think black should have played queen takes d4. Because this one offers to queen trade. That's definitely what black wants. We're getting attacked. And hits huge f2 pawn, right? f2 and g2 are both hanging. So there's no time for white to go queen h5. So queen d4 I think would force the queen trade. In fact, black might even be doing really well here, because after takes, white's rook is still hanging, which is now super misplaced, and rook e1 is hanging, which is just going to be really devastating for white's king. Rook e1 is like almost a mate threat. Bishop e5 and rook h1. So Charlie here needs to have gone for the more active defense. Bishop takes d4, not nearly as active as queen takes d4. Right, bishop takes d4 comes with 0 threats. White's queen is defended, so this is not a threat. Queen takes d4 comes with 2 threats, trading queens and mating. So this was an unfortunate miss by Charlie. Takes. Here. Takes. Here. Check. King g1, and that's it. I think the under 1100 group might have already finished, because I think they only had 4 players, so probably 3 rounds. And sometimes those games can finish quickly. So I think they're done. Most of the sections are now well into their 3rd round. Possibly going into number 4 soon. Okay, rook e1. Well, black is still attacking here. He's down a piece, but he's very much attacking. In fact, white's taking here might not have been... You know, actually, this bishop takes f2 might have just been a brilliant counterattack. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry. But you're not the only one that blundered that trick, so don't feel bad. This actually turns out very, very good for black. I don't think black calculated any of this, but I think this is good for black. So we'll see if he can find the follow-up here. Oh, he tried. There's still this one. Man, unfortunate. Queen d6 would have been winning on the spot. Yeah, because white has to go g3 and then rook h1. So this was GG. This was just forced mate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. But really it's just mate in 2. Yeah, you can even... There's no point. So rook h1, good try. If white takes, we have the checkmate in 2 on g2. This bishop on b7, so powerful when it opens up. But okay, unfortunately white can still try to run with king g3. So this game is very far from over, and white is still threatening mate. So this is going to be a problem for black. Yeah. Can't blame him for not spending his time, though. He definitely spent his time, but just didn't see it. So that happens, you know. What can you do? Just got to work on tactics and try to improve. Okay, we'll come back to that game. Steve North. Let's see how he's doing. C3, D4. Seth, you won that game. Get out of here. You did not win after black. Oh my god. Seth, how could you do this? Unbelievable. I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry. It happens. You're doing really well. Yeah. Dirty mate by Seth. Very dirty mate. Let's get back to let's get back to the games. Yeah, no, you're doing very well. It was a well played game. So don't feel too bad. Okay, I love how Steve is playing this one, actually. I feel like he played this very, very well. He went C3, D4, which is fine. Rook E1, H3, very useful. And then Queen D3. So the point of Queen D3 is that it's actually hard for white to develop here, Knight D2, because of E takes D4. And pawn is hanging, right? So Steve starts with Queen D3, which is very logical to keep this one defended. And now the idea is to develop behind that. He might have also been worried about, maybe he was actually wanting to play this one and he was worried about this one. If that's the case, then bad, very bad, because this is not a pawn that's hanging. Maybe you guys can figure out quickly why. I want to see the move in the chat. I want to see it, honestly, I want to see it like 10 times. I want to see the right move here written for white 10 times, because this is a tactic that a lot of people have been blundering. I don't know, Lane. I don't know, but it's very common. I'm sure I've definitely missed it myself from Black's point of view. I'm sure I have at some point. But yeah, this one is just, you gotta remember this one. Gotta remember this one. So that's GG. Max says he missed it today. Oh, Propeshka, you won. Well, I don't know. I mean, I withdrew after my first game, so my tiebreaks wouldn't have been very good. If someone beats me, then they beat a player who had 0 points. So, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a great tiebreak opponent. Yeah, famous forking legend. Exactly. Exactly. Doesn't Black have some weird counter tactics sometimes after bishop d5? Sometimes, Connor, yeah. Yeah, you know, sometimes. But not often. Not often. So I don't know, maybe the idea was to keep this one defended, maybe the idea was to keep this one defended. So either way, Queen d3 is a good move because it keeps white center under control. Now a3, definitely not useful. Feels like a3 defending, preparing knight a3, we were worried about b4. Not sure that's really a big deal here. The knight has lots of available squares. You can play knight e2 and then bring the knight to g3, where it stands very well. So a little bit of a time waste, but that's okay. And bishop c2, love bishop c2 here. Avoiding the trade, but keeping the attacking chances alive and looking for e5. So knight g6, covering that one. Rook d1. e5, there we go. Takes, takes, takes. Opening up this one. So black is forced to give up the pawn. Bishop f4. Okay, a little tricky. A little trickerisky. h4. Wow, really playing for that pin. But bishop c4. Goes queen c3. Yeah, see, the problem with leaving this piece hanging, though, is that bishop c4 is a real bummer. So this was a nice idea, but unfortunately, the queen is running out of space. Yeah, Julia, I was wondering about that. You didn't disconnect, right? Yeah, that was a weird one. I think it's that weird chess.com thing. Because you were spending a lot of time in that position, and sometimes they like, if you spend a lot of time, they just abandon your game for you. They're like, oh, you're thinking about your position? They must have left the computer. This player hasn't moved in a few minutes. They must be gone. Yeah, it's some weird thing. I don't know what's going on, but we've seen a few games like that where a player just gets resigned because they spent like a certain amount of time. It's very strange. Yeah. Yeah, I really have to ask them about it. But I think that's what's going on. But they're not. Yeah, it's weird. They're not. Yeah, so Nord, it happened in your classical. So can you tell me, Nordovic, quickly, like, how much time did you have? Oh, I'm not talking about the move 2 auto abort. No, I don't care about that. Fine. They want you to play the first 2 moves. That's weird. We can agree. That's simple to understand. But, like, there's this thing that's happening where in the middle of a game, if you spend too much time, they, like, abandon your game. I'm not sure if it's about the tab thing. It could be. I just don't know. I just don't know what it's about. Yeah, no, Nordovic, I think that's a silly rule as well. I think you should be allowed to think on move 2. I don't understand why you can't think about your second move. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the tap thing. That's just like a theory, but I don't really know anything about that. Okay, so we lost the piece, unfortunately. We forgot about our tactic. And now it's too late. Okay, this is the last game in round 3 for this section, so once this game is done, you should expect the next round to start if you're in the under 1450 group. And the 1450, 1800 group, these guys are on their 3rd round. Okay, so this tournament definitely continuing. Cool, Amon is moving up. Nice. Yeah, you're allowed to think on move 2, guys. I don't understand why they would restrict that. It just doesn't make sense. Charlie, you won that game. Oh, we were watching that one, Charlie. I have some things to say. You did good, though. You did good. But I do have some things to say. So here, Charlie. Okay, let's just see what happens. So you got this one. Beautiful attack. Nice. You got the attack. That's great. But here, man, this was the move I really didn't like. I thought you played well. It's just here, like, you took with the bishop. If you take with the queen, you're hitting white's queen. You're hitting f2. they gotta trade queens. You know, their attack is over. I mean, they don't have to. Honestly, whether you play this one or this one, they do have this move, which is kind of a killer. But they could have done that whether you play bishop takes d4 or queen takes d4. That's not really on you. But this is a nice trick. But in terms of the defending, Charlie, you do want to kind of challenge your opponent's pieces, because this makes it much harder for your opponent to attack. This one is nice, I have to say. I mean, this is pretty slimy. But white could have done that either way, so that was always on the table. But after that you did good. This was really great. This kind of just, because what else are you gonna do, right? You're getting mated, so you have to do it. You did have this one. This might have been a slightly easier way to win, Charlie. Oh, next round is starting. So Charlie's probably gone. Okay, let's stick with this game. I mean, rook h1 is tricky, but it makes it a lot more complicated. Yeah, queen d6 was forced mate there, because white has to block, and then there's rook h1. GG. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, what's going on in this game? I feel like I'm not on the live position. Oh boy, what happened? Man, white got a lot of pawns here. This must have been some kind of sack. Yeah, bishop takes g5 sack, it seems. Takes, wow. Ooh, rook g8, not a great defense to that. So white got a big attack here, huge attack, lots of pawns. Okay, this is live position. So man, crazy position, insane position. Because black has pawns of their own, extra, no, down in exchange. Okay, white's winning. White should be winning. Six, oh boy. Yeah, looking scary. Yeah, looking tough for black here. All right, let's see what other games we got. We got Jay and Zach against Code Banana. Looks like just won their game. And checkmate to Maizan. Looks like draw by repetition against Steve. King and pawn endgame. Yeah, seems like a draw. Can't imagine either player winning that one. So let's see what happened here. We had this interesting game going into the end game, and then we traded everything off and got this king and pawn end game, which yeah, feels quite drawish. Hard for either king to get in without letting the other king in, and both kings just keep the other king out. Yeah. Okay, last game of the round. Black trying to hold on with their their pawns here. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Yeah, White needs to move quickly here to hold on. Man, double blockade here, huh? Hard to win. White has more pawns. Pushing. Yeah, pushing. E4, good, good. Improving the knight. But now, losing the blockade. Uh-oh. Okay, time to sack. Just give some material back, you have extra rook. Yep. Man. one looking strong. I don't know if he did such sweet thunder. I have no idea actually. This is good too. Okay, now this and this. Now it's really gonna be GG. If there is a king here, you can try this, check, and then here, and then if rook takes, you have your stalemate. But unfortunately, in this case, black has too many squares. Alright, he's going for it. He's going for it. Okay, last game of the round, and then the final round for the under 1800 group will be starting. Rook b6. Oh, come on, dude. What are you doing? Rook b6. What is this? Oh my god. Guys, just promote your pawn. What is this? Who's rook b6? Just promote your pawn. He gets cut off. Okay, he resigns. Enough torture for one day. So last round starting. All right, we have Sacrificer. 3 out of 3 can only be caught by TSC pawn break. I don't think rook b6 was flexing. I don't know. I think White was just not sure how to win the game. Just wanted to just take the last pawn and not flag. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was just nervousness. Rook b6 is not good. You have 5-second increment there. If you have 5-second increment, you're not in danger of flagging. That's why we play with 5-second increment. Nice and easy. So no, I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. If you have an extra rook, you have enough to win the game. That's it. End of story. Extra rook means you don't need anything else. No, but guys, what's this about Min Lee? Okay, Min Lee is like the fastest player alive. Like you don't have to be Min Lee to just move your rook to the other side of the board when the king attacks it, right? If the king approaches your rook, just move it to the other side of the board. That's what's so nice about the rook on the 7th. Right? It cuts the king. The king can only attack it from one square. And then when that happens, you just move your rook all the way over here. And then you have quite a few more moves before the king runs over. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I'm giving you a hard time. Maybe you just walk your king and you got mate. You got mate. All good, my friend. Anyway, let's get back to the game. You got a game. Get out of chat. You have a game. Exactly. That's why I like playing with the increment, because then you don't have to worry about flagging. And then you can just focus on the game and you don't have to worry about the clock as much. No, it's not like you don't flag when you have increment. I flagged with 30-second increment as well. That's definitely a thing that happens. But the increment at least gives you a nice safety net. So. I don't know, Cartier Tank. Let's see. I think one of your moves I really didn't like. So I wouldn't even call it an incorrect sacrifice. Like, let's go back, because... So look, white sacked here, right? So maybe it's not so good. But rook g8, I didn't understand why you're giving up giving the rook back. Because once you give this one back, then white, I mean, now white has a lot of material, you know, a lot of pawns. So I didn't quite get it. My cat is a dog. I think you know my thoughts on bullets. I don't know why you're just trying to rehash the same argument again. Well, no, I mean, this one, we got to deal with this one. That's the problem. I don't know. I think there's a few ways you can play this one. Castling feels very risky just because our king is going to be like walking under fire. Rook h5, again, we're hanging this one, so we have to be careful. Maybe this move. Trying to get this in. Or rook takes h2. Rook takes h2, not bad either. Yeah. So this would be maybe one possibility. Maybe this one. And maybe rook f8. But it's not that easy here for black. I mean, it's definitely like... I mean, king is in the center, you know, not an easy position to deal with. Nice, Marco, nice. But yeah, tough one. For me, it feels like knight g4. Like, take, we have this. That looks very scary for white. Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I think normally, yeah, this should be fine here, right? But okay, on knight g5, then this is usually the right move here, rook g8, because you just kind of like put pressure on the bishop, and you get to defend with rook to g6. But on this one, yeah, I think we have to probably approach it a different way. No, knight g4, I think we got it covered. All right, guys, you heard the advice from our resident bullet expert. So we've been diagnosed. So funny. Yeah, sure, Manu. I don't know. I think you need to look at more than just the accuracy. Yeah, I mean, what I would say is, like, if you're suspicious of your opponent, then like just report them. But there's no way we're gonna figure it out just by like, you know, hypothesizing. You know, like a player could be cheating and they could get like 80% accuracy, or they could be not cheating and be like 95. So the number itself, it's impossible to say anything. So I would just report it and let chess.com take care of it. Yeah, the one thing I will say on, like, you know, playing bullet versus blitz is, so the thing is, like, increment versus no increment is very different. So if you play like 1-0 bullet, that's not gonna help with your increment play. Right? Because when you have 1-0, you don't get extra time, so you're just trying to flag your opponent. So that's kind of the difference, in case that's not clear. Like when you're playing with 0-second increment, you should just be trying to flag the opponent. And if you have increment, then that's good practice. So actually, one thing I did when I was training for like the Speed Chess Championship is I would play a lot of 1+1. So there I was playing bullet, but I was playing 1+1, right? So if you're practicing with the increment, you should practice with increment. If you like playing without increment, you should practice without increment. Because it's very, very different whether you're playing on increment or you're not. Without increment, your opponent's going to flag if you play fast enough, right? Or you're going to flag if you don't play fast enough. So speed is obviously much more important. Isn't the point of bullet to flag your opponent? Not exactly. The point of bullet is still to checkmate. But because your opponent has no increment, it's much easier to flag them. So that becomes a bigger part of the game. So some people like flagging. I mean, flagging is definitely fun. So if you like flagging people, then absolutely. Like bullet or 3+0 is the way to go. But if you want the game to be decided on the board, then better to play with increment. Okay, let's get back to the live game here. Yeah, now can you carry bullet over to classical? That's really hard to say. I haven't seen anyone do that. Yeah, honestly, the real advice is to try to avoid time pressure. Like, there's no one that plays good in time pressure. It's just how much worse you play. Some players, their level dramatically drops. So once you get into time pressure, you play like 500 points lower rated. Other players are okay with low time, and so their level doesn't drop as much, but you're obviously still going to be much more likely to blunder. So my advice for classical chess is to try to avoid time pressure in the first place, because no one is going to be playing better in time pressure, right? That's not a thing. In fact, everyone thinks like Grischuk would have been like world champion already if he could just solve his like one issue with like time pressure. Can someone become a chess master without ever playing bullet chess? Yeah, I think that happened. That's happened a lot. Bullet is like a thing that's like pretty recent, especially online bullet. So there have definitely been many masters before the existence of online bullet. And there definitely been many masters before the existence of like chess clocks. Like they used to play without clocks. Yeah, no, I mean, this topic comes up a lot, so I feel like I'm just repeating myself here. But yeah, like in bullet, you're just playing your first instinct move. And so that's just kind of like very fast. And so that's just a very different game to classical chess when you have to like think about the position and try to investigate it deeper. I think the easiest thing to explain is just bullet, classical, different games. Classical, you have a lot of time. Bullet, you have no time. Yeah, see, my cat is a dog. That's how I think about blitz. I think blitz can be really helpful to get some of those like end game skills. But bullet, you're just starting the game with 0 seconds on your clock. And so it's like you just have to make a bunch of random moves in the opening. I don't know. I think you're just playing for the flag right from the get-go. I think that's how players do it. Whereas in classical, it's very different. You're not playing for the flag right from the get-go. You're playing a normal game, and at some point you might get into time pressure. then you have to be able to use the increment and still continue to calculate. If you play classical chess and then you run low on time and then you just start like playing bullet and blitzing out your moves, that's not good. You're definitely gonna blunder like you blunder in bullet. So when you're in time pressure in classical, you still want to stay calm and you don't want to be like bulleting. You still want to be like thinking about the position and trying to come up with decent moves. I don't think bullet teaches you to be calm. I don't think that's, yeah. I think it teaches you to be calm in bullet, but I don't think it teaches you how to go and be calm like all over the place. Yeah, I think bullet definitely helps you for bullet.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need your chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bullet is definitely great for like bullet training. That I definitely would agree. If you play a lot of bullet, you'll get better at bullet. How different is chess on the board? Fine, thank God, a different question. How different is chess on the board compared to chess online? I think most players find it different. I started playing out chess over the board, and then I had to like kind of relearn how to calculate online. A lot of players start out online and then they have to work on over the board. So I think it's just different compared to how much experience you've had. But if you've never done any over the board chess, I would strongly consider doing chess over the board before like you play a tournament or before you play in person, because it's just different. Like the 3D board, it will probably feel different if you're used to just calculating on a screen versus OTV. Are you serious, Max? Where was this? Yeah, OTB is definitely very different. I guess anyone who plays certainly understands. It's much slower. You can't move as fast. You can make illegal moves over the board. That's one thing. Like if you make you're literally allowed, you know, think about it, you can pick up this rook and just put it on a7. Like so over the board it's tricky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, over the board blitz and bullet especially tricky because you have issues with etiquette, right? Like you're making a move and you haven't even hit your clock yet, right? Because in over the board chess, guys, imagine you have to hit your own clock. The clock doesn't just automatically switch because you made a move. So you make a move, your hand then has to hit the clock, and then before your hand even hits the clock, your opponent is already reaching for their piece and making their move. And yeah, once it gets low on time, it's such a mess. So over the board, I don't play like 1-0 or I'll play 3-0. 3-0 is fine, but 1-0 is so messy. The pieces just like fly everywhere. You can't do it with some opponents because like if the opponent is just like throwing their pieces and everything, like you just can't play. It just doesn't work. Okay, Thad with the color redeem. All right, cool. I can turn the lights on. I mean, it's 12:30 p.m., but sure, we can get the disco lights on. That's fine. Yeah, there's some videos on YouTube, guys. You can Google them. There's some messy. The messiest one, actually, really ugly video. I don't even want to mention it, but there is a like U.S. Women's Championship that was decided by basically like a 1-0 bullet game, essentially, between Irina and Anna Zatonsky. And you guys can probably YouTube that, like Irina versus Anna U.S. Championship tiebreak. And the game ends with both players flagging and all the pieces on the floor, and one of the players wins. And they played without increment and without delay. Yeah, because it was like an Armageddon game or something. So at some point when you get to the tiebreak, they're like, no more increment, no more delay, Armageddon. No more time. And yeah, all the pieces are just flying. Okay, let me just end this. Let me just end this topic. Yes, of course, bullet. There is skill in bullet. Of course, there's skill. Like the best players in bullet are there for a reason. They have very, very high skill in bullet. What I'm saying is that that's a different skill, doesn't transfer over. You can't just say like, oh, it's good for training under pressure. I think that's kind of like a rationalization. Yeah. Well, that's just toxic, dude. That's just toxic. Like, you can have your own opinion, but like, that's fine. Yeah, threatening now. Nordovic. Okay. Sorry, I keep missing your game. Oh, are you finished? I'll have to find it. Thoughts on Bughouse? Bughouse, super fun. Not great for your chess. Super fun though. Maybe Bughouse is the only thing worse for your chess than Bullet, to be honest. But it's so much. I mean, but like it's also extremely fun. So, what to do? Okay, Atomic, I don't even consider chess at that point. As an improving player, is it a good idea to try 1e5 or just stick to the Sicilian? It's up to you. I believe in sticking to your openings unless you're experiencing real issues and you just don't like it anymore. So if you hate the positions you're getting every time, then I would consider switching. Otherwise, if you like the Sicilian, I would stick with the Sicilian. I think if you like your opening, you should just stick to your opening. And then if you don't like it, then you can, of course you can switch. Best Bullet player. Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, look, Magnus is probably the best one, guys, but hold on. Think about like these players' classical ratings and then think about their bullet rating. Like, in my opinion, the best bullet player in the world is Andrew Tang. I mean, he's not like, I don't think he beats Magnus, right? But like, his bullet is so much ahead of his like classical, it's just insane. Like Magnus, Hikaru, Ferrugia, these are already the best players in the world. But Andrew Tang, I mean, just like absolute insane. So I'm voting for him. I mean, the kid was like the best bullet player. Like, it's like a 2400. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. He's still a GM, yeah. But I mean, I'm saying, in classical chess, he is like 2500. He's like 300 points behind these guys, right? And then in bullet chess, he's like basically top 5 in the world. I mean, that's remarkable. Yeah, I think I did see that. Yeah. Yeah, imagine he could. Okay, what's going on in here? Chestian 600. Doing good? Yeah, should be winning for black, but we'll see. Yeah, I think they've thought about that, JB. They've thought about having a tournament where they invite the players and then they put the players in like a hotel room. They don't let them give them any access to like internet or anything like that. But it would be hard to set up. Alright, Drew, I'm looking at your game. Oof. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, sure, buddy. You're not trying to be toxic. You just told everyone in the chat that they suck. But yeah, you're not trying to be toxic. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, no one's telling you to shut up. It's just we're just offering like a different opinion, and then only one person here is getting upset and being toxic about it. Yeah. I'm laughing because it's funny. That's my genuine reaction to what some of the things that have been written. Some of the things are just funny. Yeah. I don't get it though. I mean, we already had this discussion last time. No one has been talking about Bullet, and then all of a sudden, like, it turns into a thing. Yeah. Right, but time pressure and Bullet are different things. And then, so I said something about time pressure, and then someone else, not naming names, someone else said, oh, but perhaps if these players play a lot of Bullet, they would be good at time pressure. And then I thought that was funny. Yeah, that was the point I was trying to make. I think it's very different when you start a game with 90 minutes on your clock, and then you have 2 minutes and you have to make really quick decisions, versus when you start the game with like a minute, and then the whole game is a minute. Like, that's just very different things. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, that's... Okay, at this point it's on me now. I shouldn't even continue. Never mind. Sorry. sorry. My bad. Anyway. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's get to the end game. So, obviously there might have been some tactics here, but end game is what we're after. And you just wanted the night end game, right? So this one. I mean, first glance, I like that white has this, like, blockade. But after knight f3, white immediately lets the king in. So it gets very tricky. So Drew, what were your thoughts here? At what point did I have plateaus in my rating? I had a plateau, I feel like every major step, like around 2000, I definitely had a plateau. And then, holy moly, 20 gifted subs, Yar. Yar 33, wow. Huge. Huge, man, thank you. Oh, I forgot to do the lights. Man, so distracting. Thad paid like 5,000 gold for red lighting. All right, there we go. So yeah, I had plateaus of like 2,000, and then right when I hit 2,200, which a lot of players do, as soon as you hit 2,200, you end up plateauing. But like you get there, and then you got to work really hard to get to the next level. Had fun your first classical game ever. Well, much appreciated. Yeah, it's not easy to find good classical games online, that's for sure. Oh wait, did I miss something? Okay, Nordovic was feeling lucky here. Trying to get a pair of pawns together to push. Gotcha. Yeah, it can be a really tricky endgame, knight versus pawns. I think at first glance white should be totally fine here with king f3, because then it's very hard for black to advance, and the knight can like start maneuvering around, and white should have enough pawns to win the game. But check, king e4 allows black's king in, king e3. Honestly, I would have thought about king d3, actually. Because just abandoning this pawn, because from black's point of view, this pawn is not going anywhere. White is definitely like in controlling this one. So your idea is to pretty much use it as like a decoy to go after white's queen side. Because if you can get all these pawns, of course you never lose, but maybe you win if you're left with like 3-4 pawns on the queen side. So my instinct would be to immediately run this way. Yeah, sub battle went great against Andres. It was very close, and then we pulled through in the end. So this to me feels like the way to play. Because I mean, if white's knight goes here, then we're coming this way. And I don't know, I mean at this point, like, I think black is actually the one playing for the win. It might be a draw, but to me the way I look at these things is more like, even if it is a draw, you still want to know which side kind of has the better end of it, right? Like who's actually playing for the win. And I would say after king d3, definitely feels like black has all the winning chances and white doesn't really have much. But here, okay, knight b1 definitely doesn't seem like the right direction. Because now this pawn starts to run. And now, yeah, I think, so knight b1 definitely very kind of a blunder here from white. I assume you guys were in heavy time pressure, so it's all good. I mean, these positions are hard. But from white's point of view, you want to try to keep the knight active as much as you can. Okay, king d3, like black is going after your pawns, but there's not much white can do here other than trying to get your king back as soon as possible. And hopefully creating, you know, just trying to take some pawns in black's position. Like if this knight can grab like one pawn, then white's drawing chances increase heavily. So something like this, I think white should have good chances to draw, but definitely like black is the only one that can still win here with the pawns. But good stuff. I mean, a little lucky. A little lucky. White was certainly doing well, but interesting endgame. Okay, tournament over. Congrats, Sacrificer, 4/4. I'm not sure who won all the sections because if I'm not like immediately on the tournament, it doesn't tell me who won. But congrats to everyone. Hope everyone had a good time and learned something. Hopefully we learned that this bishop d5 is always a thing. Remember guys, what was the move? Bishop d5. Yeah, white should have been winning before the knight endgame. That's right. Yeah. Pop quiz. What was that bishop d5 move that was winning? Bishop d5. Good. Good, Thor. Correct. Correct. Exactly. That stands for opening of the week. Yeah, thanks for playing, guys. I have a few minutes here. If there are any lingering questions about this opening, obviously there's a lot of ideas here, so it's not that easy. Oh, I don't know what position you're asking about, Lane. Not sure. Do any of us practice any martial arts? I think no. But the idea of dojo is that it's kind of like similar to martial arts. Yeah, like chess improvement can feel very similar. Why does black play this? You know, so I used to play this, and the benefit of this one for black is that you do get a very active position with this bishop on c5. So when you have these two bishops on these diagonals, then you get your d5 break in, or you get like h6, g5. I think it's one of the actually more aggressive ways for black to play in the Rui. Like if you compare it to your other options, like the classical lines and so on, where the bishop is on e7 and you play d6, then those lines can be kind of passive for black. So there's no like perfect solution to the Rui for black. Like the martial is very active, but it is kind of a lot of theory that black has to know, and you're sacrificing a pawn, so there is some risk in the martial gambit, of course. The classical lines are very solid, but they're kind of passive, so it's hard for black to generate a lot of activity, and you're a lot of times holding in those like closed Ruy Lopez's. So that's kind of not fun. That's known as like Spanish torture and not so fun. And then this one I think is more active, but it comes with the drawback that it's also more risky. So white clearly has a lot of ways to kind of put pressure and attack, but on the other hand, black has a lot of counter chances. So I used to like this one because I wanted to play for a win against low rated players, and with black, like e4, e5, it can be hard to create winning chances, especially against like a solid player. So I picked this one up when I was around maybe 2300 or so, and looking for compensation as black. When white plays a4 and then later plays a5. Yeah, the reason it's bad to take on a5, I think, usually there's just something hanging. Like let's say a4 for example, c3. Sorry, a4 will go rook b8, c3 d6, d4 here. Yeah, so if white plays a5 here, for example, and you take, you have issues with your e5 pawn. So that's the issue. And then whenever you take on e4, guys, what happens? What happens if black takes on e4? Is that a free pawn? Free pawn, right? +1. +1, white resigns. Okay, stream's over. Free pawn on e4. We don't have to worry about this one. Vasya, unfortunately, I speak Russian, but I read at a very slow speed. So it's going to take me a while to decipher. Zavtra. Okay, I got the first word. Zavtra. Okay, I'm going to skip that word. Будет. Yeah. No, nah. I don't know what that last word is. Having a hard time. Hard time. I think you're asking if we're covering the candidates tomorrow, and the answer is yes. Sure, we can do a poll. What did Capablanca use to defeat the martial attack? Well, he didn't really he didn't play any kind of refutation. He played like normal moves. He managed to hold on. But black could have played better. So since that, game 100 years ago, of course, they've made big improvements on the martial gambit. And so now they've kind of analyzed things out and they're showing that black is holding. But back then, it was hard to play against someone as strong as Kappa. Okay, guys, so who do we got? Who do we got in the candidates? Let's make a poll. Who wins candidates? All right, we have Nepo in first place, and he has the most whites. MVL is also tied, but like I mentioned, less whites in the final couple rounds. Then we have Caruana, who is 1 point back, but is considered to be quite dangerous as well. And then we have the field, because no one else is really that much in contention, but someone could go crazy. And then because Ding Loren is really strong, but he's way far behind, so his chances are really, really slim. Okay. So there's the ball. Guys, I'm going to be actually wrapping up for now. But good news. Jesse's coming on. He's shaking. He hasn't played Blitz in a while, and he's jonesing for his fix, and so he's shaking. So he's ready to play. He's going to be coming on in just a little bit. And then we got Dojo Scrubs until starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So that's coming up in just over an hour. So Jesse's going to be coming on for about an hour of Blitz, and then the Dojo Scrubs are going to be on later today, and they might be playing some bug outs actually. So that's going to be pretty fun. Oh wow, we got a raid from Diana. Oh, give me 5 minutes. Sure, Jesse. Sure, no problem. Well, Raiders, welcome. Just in time. Just in time. We're in the middle of shows here. We just wrapped up a tournament, and now Grandmaster Jesse's gonna come on in a couple minutes to play some Blitz, and yeah, so that'll be fun. Yeah, no dojo talks today. We were gonna do dojo talks, but I don't know, we don't have a lot to say about the candidates, so it's we've been talking about the candidates for a year. We're just done. We're just ready to watch it. We don't have a lot to say. It's going to be exciting. That's okay, my cat is a dog. I forgive you for derailing the stream with some kind of personal vendetta about Bullet, you are forgiven. Thanks, Diana. Thank you so much for the raid. I'll have to get you back as well. Oh no! Did Diana miss a raid from Anna? That's unfortunate. We've done that a few times. We've raided into the channel that just ended. Yes, Steve. Yeah, we will have. Yeah, Dojo Scrubs will be on at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. No, you guys are allowed to disagree with me. No, we're totally cool with the disagreement. In fact, we welcome it. Like, that's how you kind of like explore ideas. I just wish people wouldn't get offended when they get disagreed with. That's the only thing. Yeah, JB, the funny thing is that might have happened more than once, actually, with Mark's channel. No, I think it's just the chat, because like the thing is, people are just too volatile with their words. Someone says like Bullet is the best thing ever. The next person says like Bullet is in chess. It's just too. It's like there's a time and place for everything. Like Bullet is just a separate game. You know, there's time and place for it all. The mistake is to think that it's like 100% or nothing. It's like all or the other. Yeah. Yeah, so to be honest, it bothers me one way or the other when people just make like very definitive statements. I think the only thing that's wrong is like the definitive statement. Letting it go definitely helps. What do I prefer? Well, I'm a classical player. I mean, pretty much all professional players just play classical chess and then they play Blitz and Bullet for fun. Yeah, whenever, like, especially when it gets to openings, it gets really, really bad. I mean, forget the time controls. It's really with the openings that it gets so toxic. Like, you know, people, they win one game against the dragon, and they're like, oh, the dragon loses by force. And they're like, I don't see how anyone can play the dragon. You just get made. Like, relax, buddy. You won one game with a nice checkmate. Like, the dragon is still playable. Like, don't worry. Or when... I just think people should be like... I don't know. Yeah, well, you guys know what I say. It's all playable. It's all playable. The dragon is just a very sharp opening. Sometimes black wins, sometimes white wins. Usually the stronger player wins, I would say, in that opening. Ooh, dramatic poll now. There's a link to our Discord on the Twitch page. You should be able to scroll down, but there's also going to be a link in chat as soon as people notice. All right, I'll do it. No one's getting banned. Don't relax. Oh, not a good move, guys, by the way. Again, bishop d5. I mean, here, okay, this one was also hanging with. Just don't take this pawn. Be very careful about taking this pawn when there's bishop d5 in the position. Okay, sweet. Jesse's ready to roll, guys. I'm going to sign off. Grandmaster Jesse Cry is going to be on in a sec for some blitz. He's got a quest to get a rating that's higher than his current rating. So please support him. He'll be on in just a moment. As soon as you see the stream go down, just refresh and you'll see Jesse soon. Yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys all later. Canada's starting tomorrow. Very exciting. So see you guys soon. Have a good one.